Chapter number 4, Food Security in India. As the chapter name suggests, government want that every Indian should be secured at least by the food. They should not face the problem of hungerness. भूख की problem किसी को भी ना हो. Let us start with the chapter number 4, Food Security in India. In this chapter, we will learn about the following things. What is food security? Why food security is necessary? How food security is affected during calamity? Who is the food insecure? Food security in India? What is buffer stock? What is public distribution system PDS? Current status of PDS system? Now, let us start with the chapter. As we know that food is the basic need of every human beings, whomsoever it may be, rich or a poor, hardly matters. Indian population is growing day by day, as we know. More than 250 billion tons of grain require every Indians to fulfill his food requirement, and slowly it is increasing because population is also increasing day by day, as we can see in our daily life. About 1/3 of the world's hungry people live in India. भूखे रह जाते हैं बेचारे. Over 25 lakhs of Indians died due to the hunger, भूख से. Population has increased about 85 crores in last 60 years, plus problem of the government to fulfill their basic needs. In the last chapter, we have studied about our basic needs. Yes, food, shelter and clothing, roti, kapda and makan. And among them, food is the most important necessity to survive. It's the basic requirement, first and the most important requirement for every human being. Food security, what does it mean? It means something more than getting 2 times of meal. Food security means availability, accessibility and affordability of food to all the people at all the times. What does 3 words meanings? Availability, accessibility and affordability. Let us then discuss broadly. In the next page, the poor households are more vulnerable to the food insecurity. Whenever there is a problem of production or distribution of food crops, they are the first who suffer the most. Food security depends on the following: public distribution system, which is also known as PDS in short, and government vigilance and action of times. Government has to keep eyes for the distribution system so that the proper food should be distributed at the proper places. Now, dimensions of food security which we have discussed earlier: availability, accessibility and affordability. What does it mean? Let us discuss broadly. Availability. It means food production, food import, stores in government granaries. Government in India has to produce the food, or they have to import it from the other countries and they have to keep them stored in their godowns, granaries. This is the availability of the food. Accessibility. Food is within the reach of every person. Every needed person should get the food on the reasonable time. And affordability, people has enough money to buy the food as per their terms and condition. Whatever the amount of money they are having in their pocket, according to that, they can able to purchase the foods from the market. This is also known, this is called affordability of the food. In 1995, a World Summit declared food security at the individual level, at household level, regional level, national level as well as the global level, that exists for all the people at all the time have physical and economic access to sufficient, safe and nutritious food to meet their daily requirement. The declaration further recognized as the poverty eradication is essential to improve access to the food. It is a 1995 World Summit. Why food security necessary? The poorest section of the society, garib tabke ka aadmi, might be food insecure most of the times, while persons above the poverty line, there are 2 lines, one is below poverty line which is also known as BPL and one other is above the poverty line. So most of the times the persons above the poverty line might also be food insecure when the country faces national disaster, calamity. देश पे कोई भी विपदा आती है, आफत आ जाती है. I am talking about that time like earthquake, drought, flood, tsunami, widespread failure of crops causing famines. Famines सूखा, बिल्कुल कुछ भी नहीं बचा देश के अंदर. How the food security affect during the calamity? Production decreases. उस वक्त production ना के बराबर होता है. You find very less production. Production decreases. It is unable to fulfill the requirement of the whole country. There will be a shortage of food. Prices become increases. There will be the highs in the price, and some people cannot afford to buy that food for their daily requirement. In such calamity happens in every widespread area or has stretched over a longer time period, it may cause the situation of a starvation. If the same situation remains for a long time, maybe 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, or for a year, it may create the problem of a starvation, and the long starvation may take the famine. सूखा पड़ गया. A famine is characterized by the spread of deaths. बहुत सारे लोग मारे जाएंगे due to the starvation or epidemics, महामारी, हैजा. Earlier time it happens a lot, caused by the forced use of contaminated water and decaying of food. खाना सड़ जाता है. And loss of body resistance due to the weakening of the starvation. हमारी body की resistance power also declines. We are not able to fight. We need antibiotics. We need a good food. We need a balanced diet. Famine of Bengal in 1943 killed 30 lakh people in the provinces of Bengal. It's a data showing the famines in the year 1943 pre-independence. Affected things by the famine. Who is mostly affected by the famine? We are discussing it here. The agriculture laborers, the mostly persons who work in the agriculture field, the fishermen, the transport workers, peddlers, and the casual laborers who earn their daily life, blue collar job workers. This is the production of rice of the provinces of Bengal. Data shows you how it's increasing and changing in the year 1938 to 1943. It's a data for the year 1981 given by the government. Total availability of rice in lakhs of tons. It's increasing and sometimes it's decreasing also. Affected places by the famine, it's Baran, Palamu, Khaladi, Kashipur, and some other affected parts are also there. Now, natural calamity and pandemics may also lead to the food shortage. खाने की कमी generally होने लग जाती है. For example, we take the example of a recent epidemic, COVID-19. You must be knowing that COVID epidemics had adverse impact upon the food security. Restrictions on the movement of people and goods and services impacted economic activity. Therefore, food security is needed in a country to ensure food at all the times, including calamity and the pandemics affected at that time. बहुत ज़्यादा खाने पीने की प्रॉब्लम सर्वाइव होने लग गई थी. Why? Because of this pandemics. Now, there is a case study of Ramu. Ramu is a casual labor in an agriculture farmhouse. He has got 4 sons and 2 daughters. He remained unemployed for about 4 months during the period of plant consolidations and maturating in a year. Her daughter Somu, he works as a pali. He earns ₹1,000 per month. And Sunhari, she is a household cleaner. She works in some house for the livestock. She gets half liter of milk and some cooked food along with the vegetables in her daily work, which is a kind work, kind labor. There are 2 types of workforce. One is paid and one is in kind. She is getting kind. Ramu is able to earn enough either in cash or in kind for him to buy the essential for 2 times meal in his family. Milk and vegetables are not a regular part of the food in the family. Ramu is a food insecure during 4 months when he remains unemployed because of the seasonal nature. He do the seasonal unemployment. In the last chapter, we have also studied about the seasonal unemployment, which is mostly done in the villages area. Now let us start. Let's discuss the following questions. Why is agriculture a seasonal activity? And when is Ramu a food insecure? You just find out the answers of both the 2 questions, then we will discuss about it later on. A case study of Ahmed. Another case study of Ahmed. Ahmed is a rickshaw puller. You know what is a rickshaw as seen in the trolley? In Bangalore. He has 3 brothers, 2 sisters and old parents. He does not have a secured employment. Secured employment means which he get employments all the time, and his earning fluctuates every day. You don't know, maybe possible he earn 100 rupees per day or not possible to earn even a 10 rupees per day. Fortunately, but Ahmed has a yellow card. What is yellow card? It is a PDS card, below poverty line people. You must be having a ration card. It has got a very much varieties which it's provided by the government of India. Let us discuss in the further pages. I repeat, Ahmed has a yellow card which is a PDS card which is for the below poverty line people. With this card, Ahmed gets sufficient quantity of wheat, rice, sugar, kerosene oil for his daily needs, daily use by the government of India. He gets this essential at half of the market price. Suppose market price is 10 rupees per kg. Suppose he is getting in the 5 rupees per kg. He purchases monthly stock during a particular day when the ration shop is open for BPL persons, below poverty people. In this way, Ahmed is able to take out his survival with less than sufficient earning for his big family where only he is the earning member. This is due to the support of the government for his and his family members. Now, who are food insecure? A large section of the people suffer from food and nutrition insecurity. I am talking about in India. What? The worst affected groups are landless people who does not have a proper land, traditional artisans, providers of traditional services, petty self-employed workers, small self-employed worker I am talking about, and destitutes including bakers, bhikaris. The scheduled caste and scheduled tribes and some sections of the OBC, lower caste we are talking about, who have either poor land base or very low land productivity, whose land productivity is very low as compared to the other, are the major sufferer of food insecurity. The people affected by the natural disaster who have to migrate to other areas in search of work are also among the most food insecure people. High incidence of malnutrition prevails among the women. I am talking about the India, especially in the India. A large portion of the pregnant and nursing mothers and children under the age of 5 years constitute as an important segment of the food insecure population. They are not getting proper secure food for their livelihood, proper nutrition. According to the National Health and Family Survey NHFS 1998-99, the number of such women and children in India is approximately 11 crores. It is the data showing for the 98 and 99. This accounts for the largest number of food insecure people in the country. These are the some states where you find the most insecure persons. Dimensions of hunger. Bhuk. Hunger is another aspect of indicating food insecurity. जब खाना नहीं मिलता है. What are dimensions of hunger? Chronic and seasonal. What is chronic? Consequences of diet, persistently inadequate in terms of quantity and quality. They are getting food but not proper quantity and not proper quality. And what about seasonal? Seasonal cycles of food growing and harvesting prevalent, especially in the rural areas. गाँवों के अंदर ये ज़्यादा देखने को मिलता है. This is the percentage of households with the hunger in India. Data shows, this is the data relating to established by the government in the year 2004, discussing about the rural and the urban areas, showing the different years from 1983 to year 2000, seasonal, chronic and total types of hunger prevailing in India. India is aiming at self-sufficiency in food grains since independence. India adopted a new strategy in agriculture which resulted in the Green Revolution, especially in the production of wheat and rice. In the time of Green Revolution, even we export our wheat to the other countries. इतना गेहूं हुआ था, it's unlimited. Indira Gandhi, late Prime Minister, officially recorded the impressive strides of the Green Revolution in agriculture by releasing a special postal stamp entitled Wheat Revolution in the July 1968 Indira Gandhi stamp, Madam Indira Gandhi. The highest rate of growth was achieved in the Uttar Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh, which was 44.01 and 30.21 million tons in 2015 and 16. The total food grain production was 252.22 million tons in 2015-16, changed to 275.68 million tons in 2016 and 17. It's changing, it's increasing from 252 to 275. It matters a lot. Uttar Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh record a significant production in the field of wheat, which was 26.87 and 17.69 million tons in 2015 and 16. These are the charts and data showing about the production of wheat, overall food grains in the country, our country, India. West Bengal and UP, on the other hand, recorded significant production of rice. West Bengal में rice ज़्यादा होता है, 15.75 and 12.51 million tons in 2015 and 16 respectively. Food security in India. India has become self-sufficient in food grains during the last 30 years because variety of crops grown all over the country. खूब सारी crops, अलग-अलग तरह की crops उगाई जाती है. The availability of food grains in a country is adversely affected by the weather conditions and many other things. Production of food grains in India in million tons. This is a chart showing the different types of food grains produced in India. This is the chart of 2020 and 21 issued by the Department of Agriculture, Corporations and Farmers Welfare Ministry of Agriculture. What is a buffer stock? Extra stock. Buffer stock is a stock of food grains, खाने पीने का item का extra stock. namely wheat, rice procured by the government through the FCI, Food Corporation of India. The FCI purchase wheat and rice from the farmers in the state where there is a surplus production. Government is needed this food production for their workers, prisoners, जेल के कैदियों के लिए चाहिए होता है खाना, आर्मी वालों के लिए चाहिए होता है, and many other types. तो with the help of the FCI, government purchase all this and keep a buffer stock with them and for the distribution in the rationing also. MSP, minimum support price. The farmers are paid a pre-announced price for their crops. This price is called minimum support price. Government announced a price, limited amount of price for the farmers. I am going to buy your wheat at this price. Need not to sell it anywhere. This is known as MSP. MSP is declared by the government every year. It keeps on changing from time to time every year. The purchased food grains are stored in the granaries, government godowns. Why buffer stock is created by the government? You are thinking the same question? Let's find out the answer. This is done to distribute food grains in the deflict areas among the poor strata of the society at a price lower than the market price. It is also known as the issue price. Note down this word, issue price, lower than the market price. This also helps to resolve the problem of shortage of food during the adverse weather conditions during the periods of calamities. कोई परेशानी के टाइम में भी इसकी जरूरत पड़ती है. What is public distribution system? Another important question. The food procured by FCI. What is FCI? Food Corporation of India. We discussed on the last page. The food procured by the FCI is distributed through the government on regulated ration shop. You must be heard ration shop. आपके घर के आसपास भी government द्वारा authorized ration shop होगी. Among the poorer sections of the society. This is called PDS, Public Distribution System. Ration shop is also known as the fair price shop. As in the case of example, we have heard the Ahmed is taking the items below the market price, half them the market price from the ration shop on a particular day for the whole month stock he purchased from there. Kinds of ration cards which we have discussed earlier. There are three types of Anantyo cards is the for the poorest of the poor, BPL cards for the below poverty line and APL cards for all of us. आप घर पे चेक करिएगा, you must also be having a ration card in which the number of family members, name of the family members, age, all things are mentioned over there. They are of different colors for the different persons. Important food intervention programs. There are two types of mainly food intervention programs, PDS and ICDS, Public Distribution System. Food for work. आप काम करेंगे, you will get food for that. Child Development Service, Poverty Alleviation Programs. Remove poverty. गरीबी को किस तरह से हटाया जाए. The National Food Security Act 2013, it's a law. This act provides for the food and nutritional security's life at affordable price and enables people to live a life with dignity. आपको proper food मिल सके at reasonable price. Under this act, 75% of the rural population and 50% of the urban population have been categorized as eligible households for the food security program. They have been taken for the food security program. In the urban areas, 50% and in the rural areas, 75% public has been taken. Current status. What is the current status of the public for the distribution system? Public distribution system is the most important step taken by the government in India towards ensuring food security. सबको खाना मिलना चाहिए. Round page public distribution RPDS was introduced in 1700 blocks in the country. Targeted Public Distribution System TPDS was introduced to adopt the principle of targeting the poor in all areas in 2000. Two special schemes were launched which Anantya Anna Yojana AAY and Annapurna Scheme APS to meet the public requirement for ensuring food security. This is the another data showing the features of the PDS. This is the name of the schemes, valid introduction of year, coverage of target group, latest volume and issue price is also given. Second page for the same. The PDS has proved to be the most effective instrument of the government policy over the years in stabilizing prices and making food available to the consumers at affordable price. At affordable price, reasonable price, all consumers are getting food, nutritious food to fulfill their daily requirement. The system including minimum support price and procurement has contributed an increase in the food grain production and provided income security to farmers so that farmers are also getting minimum support price for their farms, for their food grains, they are secured. Public distribution system has faced a severe criticism on several grounds Instances of hunger are prevalent despite overflowing granaries. Godowns भरे पड़े हैं. FCI godowns are overflowing with the grains, with some rotting away and some being eaten by the rats. सड़ रहे हैं और कुछों को चूहे भी खा रहे हैं because of poor arrangements and proper take care नहीं हो पा रही है.
To watch the complete video, download the Upbind educational app from Play Store and App Store.